And everything starts off with this, a 14-pound specker brisket. Now this is a choice grade, which means it's quite lean and also inexpensive. Notice that we have two muscles, the flat and the point, and the first thing I need to do is to trim it. Some of this fat just has to go. The bottom part is extremely thin, so I decided to go ahead and cut that out. Now here's my goal when I was trimming this brisket. On the flat part, which is the leaner part of the brisket, I'm gonna leave a 1/4 inch of fat. The point, in the other hand, has already a lot of intramuscular fat, so for that reason I decided to remove all of the external fat from the point. And once I was done with all of my trimming, this is what it looks like. The point has no external fat whatsoever, but the flat, which is the lean, has a 1/4 inch. And now that it's ready, the next thing to do is to get it seasoned. So I went ahead and started with a good amount of salt first, followed by freshly ground black pepper. Now that I got it seasoned, the only thing left to do is to smoke it first. So into the smoker you went at 250 degrees Fahrenheit for 4.5 hours. Once the time was up, I took it out and look, I got a nice golden brown color. The bark is forming exactly how I want it, and most importantly, it is not fully cooked, because now we're gonna deep fry it in bone marrow. Now I don't know if you have a lot of experience using this ingredient. One of the first things you want to try to do first is to get it extremely clean. For that, I like to do what's called a salt brine. All you have to do is to mix a little bit of water and salt, put the bone marrow in there, and let it brine overnight. Because the very next day when you take it out, look, most of the blood that was inside of the bone marrow came out. It is now ready to be roasted. For that, you just gotta put it in a sheet pan, stick it in the oven, and let it roast. Now here's where it gets really tricky whenever you're doing this for a brisket. You need a lot of it. And the only reason I'm able to do this video is because I have been saving bone marrow for a while. Every time I did a cook, in the end, I just save it. This actually allowed me to reserve 4 liters of bone marrow. Now I know what you're thinking. That is a ridiculous amount, and you are totally right. However, I gotta tell you one thing. The 4 liters are not enough. I still had to do a bunch more. And hopefully it's gonna make my brisket taste fantastic. As now the next thing to do is to transfer to a deep container and add all of the bone marrow in there. I'm using everything I got. And unfortunately, as you can clearly see, I was not able to cover the whole brisket. Because now the only thing left to do is to cover it up and stick it in my oven at 300 degrees Fahrenheit. I'll be deep frying the whole thing for 1 hour. And if you're thinking that that's not deep fried, let me show you. Because once the time was up, I took it out and look, it is deep frying in there, but nice and slow. Unlike confit where there's no bubbles, these definitely have some. When I took the temperature, it was at 185 degrees Fahrenheit internally, which felt like butter. That is very unusual for a brisket, so I'm not quite sure what exactly happened. As you can see, the top never really got any bone marrow, but if there's one step that is extremely important for a brisket is to let it rest. So I took out some parchment paper, put it right on top. I went ahead and wrapped the whole thing up as nicely and tightly as possible, and into my food warmer it went to rest for 12 hours. And the temperature was at 150 degrees Fahrenheit. As that was happening, it was perfect because it allows me time to go ahead and make an incredible side dish. The first thing to do is to get the filling done. For that, I decided to use chicken thighs. I seasoned them with a good amount of salt followed by Guga's rub. I made sure to be generous with it, as the next step is to fry them up. For that, I just threw in a little bit of oil into the pan and immediately set the chicken. My goal is to get a nice color on it, because once I got the color I was happy with, I took them out and this is what they look like. Fully cooked chicken thighs, and the oil, which is extremely important, I saved it. Now take a look at my pan. This is called fond. You don't want to let that go to waste. So I threw in some white onions and also some lemon juice. To help deglaze the pan, I added a little bit of white wine. As you can see, my pan got nice and clean. Then I added some garlic paste followed by jalapenos. Mixed everything well, and my filling mix is now almost ready. As now the next thing to do is to go ahead and chop up the chicken, then add the onions and jalapeno right on top, mix everything together, throw it in a bowl, add some freshly grated mozzarella cheese, mix everything together and combine, grab a flour tortilla and add it to the middle, roll everything up just like this, set it down on a cooling rack, as the next step is to go ahead and baste it with that wonderful oil we just reserved. This will help it get it nice and crispy and extremely flavorful. Then into the oven it goes at 350 degrees Fahrenheit to crispen up. As that was happening, I decided to make a quick sauce. Into a food processor, I threw in some parsley, followed by sour cream, avocado, Mexican crema, salt, freshly ground black pepper, and a good amount of extra virgin olive oil. Cover it up and blend everything together, because once you have done so, take take a look at the consistency, as this is exactly what I was looking for, because by this time my flautas were ready. To finish them up, I just basted with a little bit more of that oil, followed by a generous amount of the sauce we just made, a good amount of tomatoes, followed by some white onions, and some cilantro right on top. Now this is today's side dish. It looks gorgeous, but I can tell you one thing, it tastes better than it looks. Don't believe me? Well, you just wait and see, because by this time my brisket was fully rested. So I went ahead and removed it from the warmer, opened it all up, set it on a cutting board, and as you can see, we got that nice dark color bark. As the only thing left to do was to go ahead and slice it up and see what we got. And as I did so, wow! I mean, take a look at this thing. This thing is extremely juicy. Of course, it was deep fried in bone marrow. But the big question is, how is this thing going to taste? Is it going to make any difference from a regular brisket? Is the bone marrow going to be way too overpowering? Was this a complete waste of time? Or the best brisket I ever had in my life? Well, we're about to find out right now. Because now I say it is enough talking and it is time to eat. So let's do it.
All right, everybody, here we got our beautiful brisket today, gentlemen, with a side of taquitos.
I love brisket. I love brisket so much. It's been forever since we've had a brisket here on Google Foods, and I am so excited right now.
Now, you should be extra excited because I've been reserving a lot of things to make this brisket, and this brisket will probably be once in a lifetime, and that's it. I don't think I can ever make it again.
It sounds like this brisket was a to make.
It was a lot of work, yes.
And let me ask you a question. You didn't go light on the green today,
You
huh?
like the green?
I was the one who plated, and I thought where better to place those greens than right in front of our tried and true angel, the green fanatic himself.
Fair enough, because yeah, we got some greens for you.
All right.
Obviously, we got meat with more meat over here.
I ain't complaining.
The usual.
Welcome to Google Foods, everybody. All right, enough talking.
I'm
Let's
ready.
go for it, yeah? All right, let's
do
go
it.
because I'm excited. I can't wait anymore. All right, please dig in, Leah.
It's gonna break on me.
Look at how tender it is, everybody.
Smells very good.
Oh my God, smell like heaven. Enough talking, let's give this a try. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Damn.
Oh, there's a flavor there I'm used to, but I can't put a finger on it.
It's everything I thought it would be. My main concern when I was cooking this brisket, is it gonna be worth going through all this trouble? I will answer to you right now.
Yes.
Yes.
Hell yes, everybody!
Before I tell you guys what it is, I'm interested and curious to find out what you guys think of the flavor.
Right off the bat, the first thing I feel is extremely juicy brisket. I will also say that it has a different flavor profile than a normal brisket does. It's more creamy and more savory. It's like a deep savoriness that you get from the brisket that complements the flavors of it very well. The bark is nice, very flavorful, crunchy. The actual fatty parts and the intramuscular fat blend very nicely, so you have a good bite. Google, this is a freaking perfect brisket.
Thank you, Leo. I appreciate that. Of
course.
Because I'm very happy with this cook. What do you think, Angel?
A brisket that's already like awesome, and then on top of that, it has this like oily, beefy flavor on top.
That's just so good.
Kind of feels like the butter of the gods was on this.
You're right, because it has the butter of the gods ingredients. By the way, I deep fried this brisket in bone marrow.
Oh,
That is so much work. I would honestly never do it because the amount of times you have to do the same step again and again in rendering the bone marrow is ridiculous. And on top of that, the little tip, I was not able to cover the whole thing because I ran out, everybody.
my God.
The flavor is very intense. And if you're thinking I'm gonna throw out the rest of the bone marrow away, you're absolutely insane, everybody. That's gonna remain there. We're gonna eat that whole thing. That was way too much work. Surprisingly, it's not overpowering.
No.
No,
Right?
it's not too much at all.
I thought it was gonna be too much. You know, because goddamn, that bone marrow is very rich, everybody.
they harmonize very well on this brisket, and it gives you a really nice end product that just enhances the brisket to another level.
Now, that was the fatty part, okay? Now we're gonna try the lean part as well, but I say before we try the taquitos. Yeah?
Okay.
All right, let's go for the taquitos.
Some little green taquitos.
Let's have a little green.
get this.
Oh, you're gonna go with the green, bro.
I got no choice.
I'm very proud of you. Enough talking, let's give this a go, yeah? Let me know if it's good, bad, or ugly. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Oh,
Wow. That little cilantro sauce right on the top just brings down the fattiness of the brisket because the brisket is very fatty, everybody. and it just like melted down.
Like you're saying, the vegetables and the ingredients helps cut the fattiness of the brisket.
Little jalapeno flavor in there.
Yeah, the inside has like a really nice flavor. I almost get like a little bit of smokiness too.
That's all chicken fat right there. That's your smokiness. But bone marrow biscuit, way better.
Oh, I just really like the textures. Hard, crunchy tortilla with the soft, gooey inside. Perfect combination. Knocked it out of the park.
This is good. This is really good.
Good, man, yes.
Yes, I agree.
Eat.
Yeah, correct. Very delicious. Highly recommend giving it a try, everybody. With that being said, we gotta try the lean just to make it official, yeah?
I wouldn't have it any other way.
All right, let's go for it. Let's cut up the lean. Well, the lean might have been a little bit overcooked, everybody, I must say. Okay, since it's extremely tender.
It's the wrong piece
So
of meat to
usually it shouldn't be that tender, but hey, this is uncharted territory for me, everybody. I don't think anyone else ever would be crazy enough to cook a full brisket in bone marrow. Enough talking, let's give it a go. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Oh, it's not dry at all.
That's good.
Oh my God.
That's a winner chicken dinner, everybody. Excuse me, bone marrow dinner.
Bone marrow dinner, boys. I still stick to the fatty part,
Oh, and of course, come on.
but that's still delicious.
Yeah.
It's just, you get so much more of that bark on this. It's just like, it's so flavorful, so delicious. I agree with you guys where I do like the fatty more, but this is hard to beat too.
So will I recommend you giving this a try? Yes and no. No, because it's way too much work. It costs way too much money unless you have a ridiculous amount of bone marrow available. To be honest, is it an incredible and amazing brisket? Yes, it is. Is this gonna be on my memory for the rest of my life? Yes, it is.